We're taking stock of the nonprofit fundraising scene with Tim Seiler. He's Director of Public Service at the University of Indiana's Center on Philanthropy, and he joins us from Indianapolis. Good morning, sir. The University of Indiana developed a Philanthropic Giving Index, a PGI, to gauge the climate for charitable giving. What is it telling us right now about how nonprofits are feeling?
Well, it's telling us that they're feeling a bit better this year than they were 6 months ago and a little bit better than they were 1 year ago.
Any surprises from the survey?
A little bit of a surprise on some of the fundraising strategies that were doing better than everyone thought they would be. In particular, direct mail did better than anyone thought it would do in these last 6 months. And there was also a little bit of an improvement in the effectiveness of special events. I think both of those things surprised a good number of fundraisers.
By special events, what do you mean?
Galas, dinners, other kinds of events where people come together rallying around a cause.
Now, within the nonprofit world, Tim, give us a sense of what kinds of organizations or nonprofits are feeling a little bit more optimistic and which perhaps are a little bit less hopeful right now.
Two that feel the most optimistic are those that are fundraising for religious causes and for education. The ones that are feeling the least optimistic are services and fundraising consultants who serve the whole sector.
What do you think that tells us about the broader economy?
Well, I think it tells us that religion and education, in particular religion, is recession-proof. People give through hard times as well as they give during good times to religion. That's always at the top. Education, because of the pervasive nature of fundraising education, is usually second. And I think the confidence remains there because they have broad constituencies in most instances. I think the less optimistic ones, the human services, it's kind of a double whammy for human services because it's exactly these times when demand for their services goes up and their ability to raise money sometimes doesn't match that increased demand. So that causes a bit less optimism, and you might even say some pessimism on their part. And I think from fundraising consultants' perspective, they see the whole sector. They see all of the subsectors, and it could be as well that consultants are not getting the level of business that they typically get during good times, so they may be feeling a little less optimistic than others as well.
Makes sense. Now, with companies as well as individuals both giving less, how are the charities and fundraisers changing their strategies? You mentioned direct mailing being very successful this time around, but how are they doing things differently?
They're not doing things differently so much as they're just doing more of what they do well in good times. And by that I mean they're paying more attention to their loyal donors. They're communicating most effectively. They're communicating more regularly, and I think that's what's helping them.
Right, tapping that loyal base.
Correct.
Okay, how are fundraisers budgeting or projecting for the new year?
Most are holding their own and are continuing the budgets to be what they've had in the past year. Some are reducing their budgets, but I would say the majority are holding their own.
Tim, give us a sense of how many charities or nonprofit organizations have had to shut down or close their doors because of this economic environment.
I'm not sure we have really good data on that. I'm not sure I can answer the question.
Well, any anecdotes that you can offer?
Yeah, frankly, we're not hearing that many have closed down.
Certainly, that's encouraging.
We're hearing more about organizations that are collaborating more.
Working together how?
Maybe making an approach to a donor as two organizations that working together can be more effective than either of them working alone.
Kind of along the lines of two is better than one. All right, thank you so much for your time. We've been speaking with Tim Seiler from the University of Indiana Center on Philanthropy.